Do you free build like this? But you want to free build like this? Well, in this video, I'm going to break down multiple high-level build moves pros actually use, and then show you how to sequence them together so your free building feels smooth, controlled, and intentional instead of just random and horrible. By the end, you'll understand how to create that fluid motion you see from top players, and more importantly, you'll see exactly why your current free building might be holding you back without you even realizing it. Stick around to the end because this is the mistake almost every person makes. Let's jump right into it. All right, so we're going to go over the basic stuff you need to know first before we sequence them all together so you guys can get your own sequencing to look like a pro player or stand out from the rest of the people. So the first thing you guys need to know how to do is just a basic 90. I mean, these are really easy. You can jump. You can just do them regularly like this or jump. The next thing you need to know how to do is quick 90s. Now, I personally don't use these at all, but this is basically it. You just do that and you can spray and stuff like that. And then once again, one of the most common things you need to know how to do is a simple double edit like this and a double edit just like that, as well as you need to also know how to do a triple edit. A way to know if you guys are going to be able to do most of these things and sequence them together is just by being able to do 3 triple edits in a row. And if you can do 3 triple edits in a row, you'll be able to sequence most of these things together, if not do quad edits and everything like that. All right, so the first thing we're going to go over are just some basic retakes, because a lot of pros use basic retakes in their actual sequencing for free building. And it's just second nature to them. So the first one we're going to do is just a double edit into a either back or forward. So you just do your regular double edit. You place your cones like this, depending on which way you want to go. And if you want to keep momentum, go this way. And then you can just do stuff like this. If you want to go backwards, you put your cones like this, and then you run, sprint, and place a wall and a stair like this. And then you can also bring your walls up and do another type of thing like that. And that is just a basic kind of, like this one's for changing direction if you need to change direction fast. And this one's just to keep your momentum and keep going upwards. Now there are other ones, like there is literally just edit this way and come up this way. And you can do the same thing like that. As well as you can do it on both sides. But yeah, those are the 2 that you need to know because they go backwards and forwards. Okay, the next thing you guys need to be good at is side jumps. So we have 2 types of side jumps, regular side jumps like that. And then we have these sprinting side jumps, which will launch you further and further back. So I personally like to use regular side jumps most of the time. They're easier to control. But if you guys do want to get wider or you want to get like 2 boxes away, you want to do the far side jumps. Now, what we use side jumps for is in the sequencing, we use side jumps to keep your momentum and to do high walls. And then once again, you can do the high walls and then go into like a retake like that. Just so you get super high layers without having to actually edit this part and you're still protected. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is a regular super high wall like that. Go like this. That's another side jump. And then there's other basic side jumps where it's just you jump to the side, edit your wall, and full piece someone like that. But since we are learning how to free build consistently and fluidly, you won't be utilizing that one as much. Now that you know most of those things and you guys can double edit or triple edit consistently, another one, if you guys want to learn, which I use a lot in all of my free builds because this helps me warm up the most, is a quad edit, but it's an easier quad edit. So regular quad edits are really hard to do because they're going straight up. And so to do multiple in a row, it's actually not super easy. So if you guys want to add a little bit more flair and fluidity into your like builds or free builds, you can do a quad edit, but an angled one. And this keeps your momentum and you keep going up and it still looks as clean, if not cleaner than a regular quad edit. And you still get that height. And then you can add multiple things on top of that quad edit because it gives you a lot of room to either side jump, edit up, reset and stuff like that. Another thing for free building is if you do like a double edit like this, doing your double edit, coming up, resetting, and then editing up like this. You can do this thing multiple times. It's not hard to do, and you can keep your motion and fluidity with it. Once again, if it's just taking everything that you know in the game and putting it into a free build and mixing it up, which is the hardest part for most players. And there's stuff like this where you can do like the mongrel. If you guys ever watched Mongrel back in the day, he would constantly do this thing over and over and over again. You can apply that. And then there's also like editing downwards, stuff like that. Then there's editing downwards and going to the side. So it's just like taking all these different skills, double editing down, just taking stuff that you casually do to either piece opponents or stuff like that and applying it in a fluid motion going forward. So now that you know all the things that you basically will need to use in order to get that fluid motion, and now you have so many different types of things you can do for free building, I'm going to tell you how to sequence them together and how to get them to where it's just muscle memory and you can just do random free builds wherever. Okay, so say for example, you want to fluidly put together 3 different types of builds and things into one thing. 2 are going up and 1 is going back down. So for example, we do a double edit. That's going up. Then we do another double edit, but we jump to the side instead, okay? Remember, you don't want to do multiple of the same things over and over again, or it doesn't look as fluid and as clean as it possibly could be. So we do that and we jump to the side. Now we're having one where we go down. So we come up this way, place a floor and a cone and edit downwards, like full box ourselves. We can even edit this cone if we want, and then we can continue into that thing. Now, one thing I do recommend if you are doing stuff like this, if you want to add a bunch of those retakes, and I know I only covered a little bit of retakes, but there's a lot of retakes. If you guys want, just go watch random videos on retakes and you'll find some cool ones. The thing about retakes is if I'm right here and I want to do the retake, it's a little too late to go backwards. And it's also a little too late to go forwards. I mean, you can, but it won't look as clean if you're already this far forward when you're doing your double edit. So for your retakes, you'll want to have your edits like this, so it opens up your options to do the random retakes. And once again, you can do so many different things with these retakes. So remember, the further you are from something, the easier it's gonna make you to go into that fluid motion, and the closer you are to something, it will make it harder to go into those retakes, but it'll also be easier for like doing multiple of the same things in a row, if that makes sense. So now let's say instead of doing 3, you want to sequence together 5 things. So we're going to start off with a triple edit like this. Then we might come here and we might do just a regular 90 like that. We have this above us now. We do this, place our walls around us, reset and edit this one up. Then we do our double edit, but we jump to the side. And then we can do a double edit here, a double edit down, and just go into something like this. So the sequencing is the hardest part. I know I've said that multiple times, but it's just taking things that you already know and learned. And if you guys want to get the muscle memory down for each one of those things, you just do them, you just repeat them over and over again until you get them. And then it's just taking those things that you have learned in those muscle memory and trying to put them together into one single thing. So I'm going to free build for a second, and I'm going to show you guys. I actually do have a pattern myself usually when it does come to free building. So as you guys can see, if we come back down this way, and yes, I did mess up multiple times in between. That's the nice thing about free building is you can just turn the other direction, go upwards, downwards, and continue to build. But if we look at my edits, you'll see that I like to do like a lot of those quad edits, or like triple edits that are not the wall at the end, and go into like multiple different boxes, as well as I like to change my directions a lot and change stairs. And I prefer to go to the right side instead of the left side. So depending on which way you hold your mouse, your keyboard and stuff like that, you'll actually choose the direction you like to go to the most. So I prefer to go to the right side. It's my easier way to go. If I were to go to the left side, I can still do it, just not as fluidly as I would on my right side. But yeah, as you guys can see, I use stairs a good amount. And there are a couple like things that I don't actually like ever touch, which are these floors right here. It's misplacing, which I'm using mats for no reason there. But as you guys can see, once again, it's multiple of the same things, just different directions and put together in one fluid motion so it looks good. Once again, just remember, the further you are away from your edit, like if you edit this far, you have way more options to do like different mechanics. And if you edit faster and you edit from right here, this also gives you a lot more time to make your decision on what the next thing you're gonna do is. So it gives you more time to think about what next free build you want to do. Once again, I didn't have to think to do any of this. I was just on autopilot free building right here. But I did have to start out, when I did first start out, I did have to think about my next move was, and you do have to go slower at first but then you can just constantly do the same thing over and over again, the same sequence, and it will eventually just become so natural to you that you can just do it on autopilot just like that. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. Also, I'm starting a new short series, and I'm going to be doing some goated content coming out in the future, as well as if you guys want to personally 1v1 me, make sure you guys join the Discord, because I'm running 1v1s versus random people every single day. Once again, if you guys want to get these types of mechanics that I have right now, or pro mechanics, make sure to go play my mechanics map, and go watch some of my other videos if you guys want to improve at Fortnite fast. My channel is all about that. But yeah, I love you all. You guys have a great rest of your guys' day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace, guys.